Hey folks, Jake Davis with an On the Fly review for you. And today I'm talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, directed and written by James Gunn, starring Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel, Karen Gillan, Palm Clementif, uh, Nathan Fillion, Sean Gunn, Sylvester Stallone, Michael Rosenbaum. Uh, I am going to try to pronounce the name of the guy who plays the bad guy. And then, a whole bunch of Sean Gunn folks floating around there. Apologize. It's the longest I've ever gone without doing a video since I started my channel. It's been over 2 weeks since I posted a video. I got some bad news. I've been going through some personal shit. Dealing with it. It's really taken up all of my time, energy, emotion, thought, all this kind of stuff. And yeah, I got some stuff going on right now, and my channel wasn't really a priority. But I did get a chance to see Guardians 3, and even though it was like a week ago, um, I I wanted to put a review out there eventually forward. So here it goes. Um, the whole setup here is, after the events of Endgame, Quill is really fucked up. While hanging out at nowhere, they are attacked by Adam Warlock, played by Will Forte, who is the son of the Sovereign Queen, played by the gorgeous Elizabeth Debicki. Oh, that woman's just so stunning to me. Um, he's seriously injured, and they have to track down his creator, the High Evolutionary, to deactivate a kill switch so they can operate on him and save his life. Uh, First off, the positives. What I really liked about this movie is, once again, the cast, the characters, everybody really works well together. And James Gunn, like many of the modern directors for hire, lately in the MCU, Gunn clearly has a lot of care and love for these characters and for this world that he built. Um, I think Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Karen Gillan, Batista, once again, the team really bring it and they bust their ass. Fucking High Evolutionary is whoa, man. I've talked about this before. You reminded me of, if you've never seen, please, if you enjoy my channel, I would highly recommend you check out one of my videos, a retro review I did for a movie called Popcorn. Popcorn is a slasher from the early 90s that has a very, very special place in my heart. I think it's a slice of genius, and I thought it was a major. I mean, if there's just no way the guys who made Scream and Saw didn't see that movie. It's just too much of a coincidence, some of the details in that movie. But I would highly recommend you check out my review for that. And more importantly than that, I'd recommend you see Popcorn. I love Popcorn. Uh, what I've always praised about that film is the performance of the guy playing our villain, Tom Bond. He fucking swung for the fences. He's a dude who understood his product, understood his project, understood um, the opportunity and the possible exposure before him, and gave it his fucking all. And we have a similar situation right here with the guy playing the High Evolutionary. I can't. Damn, I wish I could pronounce or even remember how to spell his name. I mean, I do think it's cool that more modern actors, or and even wrestlers for that matter, and musicians are using their real names more than ever before. But there was a reason guys like John Wayne and Tim Allen changed their name. You want your name when somebody walks out of a movie. Who was that guy? That guy was really good. I can't remember. You look at him like, yeah, fuck, I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know. And so it's like next time he pops up in a movie, all you're gonna just see is like the random letters. All hey, was that guy, the bad guy from Guardians 3. But this guy steals the movie, steals the fucking movie. He gives it his absolute all, swinging for the fences, and considering most of his scenes are with Rocket and other various CGI creatures, it really kind of gives him this opportunity to project and present himself almost as like a stage presence, even though he's on a set in front of a film camera that's going to be in theaters. He's playing to the 50th row. This guy he's very good. Very good performance from the High Evolutionary in this. The best MCU villain in I mean, does Defoe even count Goblin? You know, he was a layover villain. You know what I mean? Anyhow, great villain in this movie, really is. What I didn't like, oh, and mainly the thing I loved the most about this movie was the redemption of Star Lord, showing the weight and the impact of the defeat of the two Avengers movies and what he went through specifically and how that weighs on him, and making the story really about him getting past that and finding new purpose and new reason for living. Thought they did a wonderful job with Star Lord in this. Redeemed his character even. Now, what I didn't like. Well, let's stick on Star Lord for a second. Um, First, right out the gate, where the fuck is his helmet? Where's his mask? Where's his rocket boots? I mean, did they seriously get rid of his most memorable parts of his costume just to create a sense of panic in the third act, which just was recreating a scene that we'd already seen twice before in the other Guardians movies? I thought it was really odd. This almost, I guess, non-binary way they presented their cast. It was like nobody was attractive. Nobody really looked good in this movie. I mean, Zoe Saldana is always beautiful and gorgeous and everything, sure, but there was no. I mean, the only character who takes off their shirt is the fucking raccoon. Oh, and Adam Warlock has a shirtless scene, sure, but like there was none of that Marvel, characters looking bigger than life and, these chiseled sculptures. This is just part of superhero movies. These actors don't get in this ridiculous fucking shape, so they don't have to take shirtless. I mean, go on some of these fuckers' Instagram pages. Brie Larson may be a total prude come off in real life, but you go on her Instagram, every other shirt's bikini, cleavage, this kind of stuff. The sets, really didn't like the sets, and that ties back into the costumes. Same thing. The production design in this movie was really, really lacking. One of my still to this day, I think Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, is maybe the most beautiful of the entire MCU. From the color palette to the set designs and the costumes and the photography, everything about the movie is so pretty. It genuinely feels and looks like a comic book flying off the page. Maybe more so than any other comic book movie ever made. It's just such a colorful and delightful film to look at. And we don't get that in this one. I thought this movie felt gaudy and bungled, and it kind of felt like a burnt crown box, And I've already talked for a bit here. Action scenes were terrific, and I really loved the visual effects was on point as always. But also, I thought the practical effects, creature effects, makeup effects, that shit was lacking compared to the previous two movies. Once again, I mean, like the Animal Planet, the planet of all anthropomorphic humanoids, while it eventually becomes this very horrendous and tragic moment in the film, it's presented so silly and the characters look so goofy. It's just off-putting, really. And speaking of off-putting, I mean, could James Gunn thrown in a bigger fuck you to Disney on his way out than having Star-Lord say get in the fucking car or whatever the line exactly was, but throwing in a fuck, an F-bomb in the movie. Ultimately, overall, I'd give it 4 stars. It is a really fun movie, really fun Marvel movie, but the truth is, and it smartly didn't try to connect or set up or anything. This is the end of the Guardian story. Don't worry about the fucking Kang and the multiverse and all the ball busting and She-Hulk and shit that's going on now. Ooh, those shows. I haven't seen most of those shows. I watched WandaVision, I watched Falcon. No. That's as far as I can get through. Anyhow, hope y'all like this video. I'm Jake Davis. Catch you on the fly.